Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, and today we're going to be taking a look at Jessica Jones Season 2. Heads up, guys, there will be a few spoilers in this, although I'm not going to be going too deep into detail. So before we get started, I would like to state that I've gone on record several times, and I'm going to reiterate that here. I'm not the biggest fan of the first season of Jessica Jones. I think that the cast is pretty solid. Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, I really like. All the scenes where she's playing character scenes, I thought she was really fantastic. However, specifically with her, but it also worked with some of the other characters in the same way. I had a whole Catwoman, like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman issue with her, where anytime she's doing the scene, playing the character, I'm 100% on board. I love the way she's doing it. She's fantastic. And then every time an action scene would break out, it would totally break the illusion, and it was the worst stuff in that first season was the action sequences. And also, again, I really like Kristen Ritter as the character, but in that first season, a few times where she had to get really amped up emotionally, like in terms of rage or like throwing a fit. Specifically, what I'm thinking of here is the sequence in which she just completely like flips out and destroys her office. That is awful. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. That sequence is like watching the freak out sequence in the frickin' Room. It's just like so casually over the top. It's so weird. But again, and again, she's the main character, so specifically it was mostly an issue with her, but that did trickle down into some of the other characters during like fight scenes or action scenes or really amped up scenes. But with her specifically, during the Defenders, I noticed a big change. I don't know if she just practiced harder or committed more, or if they just got a better fight choreographer who knew how to work with her, but in that it was fantastic. So yeah, and also there were some cinematography issues and some writing issues I had with the first season. I'll be honest with you guys, the only reason I continued watching the first season past episode 4 was for David Tennant, who was freaking amazing. And again, spoilers for those of you who don't know, they killed him off in that season. So I was like, well, okay, I guess I don't need to watch the second season then, do I? But the trailer for the second season looked pretty cool, and I had nothing to do. So I put on season 2, and the first episode was pretty awesome. So then over the last couple of days, I just knocked them all out. So guys, let's jump to the chase here. All in all, season 2 of Jessica Jones is pretty freaking awesome. Like I said, they really, really improved the action stuff. Like anytime there's an action sequence in season 2, it is really good. They learned how to use Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. I think they learned how to play to her strengths as that character and kind of figured out how that character would fight. So she doesn't seem like a trained fighter, but all the action sequence still seem very visceral and very real and very rooted in reality, despite the fact that she has powers. That was so much of a help. Beyond that, though, the rest of the cast, the supporting characters, were really used to better effect this season. In particular, Eka Darville, I think is his name, who plays Malcolm, is freaking awesome in this season. Like, he just kills it. The young lady who plays Trish, Rachel Taylor, is freaking awesome too. Like, there were times in the first season where not her as an actor, but her character got a little bit annoying. In this season, they kind of play with that, but when she gets annoying, she's definitely supposed to be annoying, and it's part of the overall story unfolding. Beyond that, like, the return of the lawyer, Jerry Hogarth, played by Carrie-Anne Moss, again, they give her so much good stuff to do in this season. They really took all of these characters and milked the drama out of them to, like, the utmost degree, in a way that is very, very, very satisfying. The cinematography and the overall direction in this season is freaking hands down worlds better than it was previously. It now really does have this like moody, noir, kind of down and dirty, almost what reminds you of like a 90s era New York type feel to it. Whereas the previous season, you could tell that's what they were going for, but more often than not, it ended up looking like a soap opera or like a very, very cheap TV show from 1998. Not all the episodes were like that, and they definitely had some good cinematography in the first season, but all in all, it didn't really work for me, whereas this season, the visual style definitely was an improvement and killed it. like killed it in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Beyond that, also the story, the basic plot for season 2, which is basically just Jessica learning where her powers come from and like uncovering that as she like unsolves the mystery concerning the company that created her powers. Like it's all very kind of cliche and overdone, but at the same time, most noir stories are, and most of the time it's not actually about the plot itself, but the intricacies of the characters and how they work within that plot. And this season really excels in that respect. There's even, okay guys, I'm just, again, spoilers here. Episode 6, they introduced the idea that Jessica's mother is still alive. And it pissed me off so bad because that is so cliche and so stupid and so overused. Every TV show with everyone who has superpowers or is a secret agent has done it 100 times. But luckily, this show's on Netflix, and they have the balls to go some places with that idea that other shows can't necessarily go or don't want to go. And even beyond that, the way that they set up the character interactions really worked and helped elevate it beyond the cliched plot story elements that they are actually using. And again, spoilers, but Kilgrave comes back for an episode. There's a great episode where Jessica, in self-defense, has accidentally killed someone, and David Tennant as Kilgrave comes back as a figment of her imagination, like basically telling her she did the right thing and like trying to encourage her while also berating her for being a killer and a murderer, which is also great because it contrasts with what she's going through with her mom, who it turns out had the same procedure done to her and over the years has killed many people. So again, like they take these very cliched, very common, overused elements and really spin them into something that not only works really, really well for the Netflix format that they have going, but works really, really well for these characters. It both embraces and subverts all of the common cliches and tropes of the type of show that it is. Even the voiceover is very nicely undercut in moments by the things that Jessica actually says, because the way Jessica talks, while she is a hard-boiled detective, her dialogue and her vocabulary is not the traditional hard-boiled vocabulary. So it's very good. Like, guys, I would actually say that I really enjoyed the season. I really, really did. To the point where, like, I am down for the next season. Where they left off at this season was fantastic. There's also a new love interest who, despite the fact that Luke Cage and her had decent enough chemistry previously, and they are supposed to be together in the comics, like the love interest in this season really works better. I like him better, and I like what he does for the character of Jessica better. And between all the other plot elements and that, like when you get to the end of the season, you're in a really good, nice place where theoretically, if there was not another season, you could live with that because you have a good stopping place. But they have so many places to go in the future, and you can tell that where they're setting things up to go, and it looks really exciting. So I would definitely be down for a season 3, whereas after the first season, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch season 2. Yeah. So all in all, guys, I really like this season. I would actually rank it somewhere in between season 1 of Daredevil and the first season of Punisher. Like, right in between there. Somewhere in terms of quality and how much I enjoyed it. I'm not going to give this like a rating of GGs or anything just because I think it's pretty awesome, but I really haven't had time to go through and analyze it the way I would need to do that. But I would definitely say that it's a recommend. But anyway, guys, those are just my thoughts on it. Have you checked out season 2 of Jessica Jones yet? Did you like the first season? Did you like this season? If you didn't like the first season, are you going to check this one out now? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please leave a like and share it with some friends so that you can help me out while YouTube's changing all this crazy search algorithms and all that kind of stuff. And if you're not subscribed, then please subscribe and hit that little bell so that you can check out all the cool content I'll have coming out in the future. Thank you very much for your time, guys. I hope you all have a good one. Nerd Scum, out.